after my last video talking about the Digital Storm PCs and why you shouldn't go with them, there seems to be a lot of confusion with people who just don't really know what kind of a pre-built PC they should go with, or if they should even go with one at all. So I'm going to try and address that in this video to the best of my ability, because I do know quite a bit about pre-builts. I also have a pretty strong opinion about them. So that's what we're going to be addressing in this video. Pre-built PCs are something that I always just kind of despise, because no matter where you go, there's almost always going to be a better option. And if you are one of those people that thinks that it's way too hard to build a PC, it really isn't. After everything that they've gone through, they're so easy to build nowadays. It's like Legos, but for older people, and it isn't even that hard for a kid to learn how to build a PC. You just have to make sure that you're being safe about it, and you just be careful with certain pieces such as a CPU, because of course one bent pin means that that's a bad CPU. But let's actually talk about some of these pre-built PCs. So I didn't really address many other companies in my last video. I mainly just talked about Digital Storm, and of course there are many other companies to talk about. So let's start by talking about a company a lot of people may know, which is CyberPower PCs. I think CyberPower is a bit of a better option, especially if you go to your local Best Buy, because there are like two CyberPower PCs there that are around $500 to $800, depending on which one you get. One of them's like a Ryzen 3 processor, and then the other is a Ryzen 5, and they're not bad, but they're just not, good. But if you don't know how to build a computer, or you're a parent getting your kid a computer for Christmas or their birthday or something like that, then these ones aren't a terrible option, especially the ones I was mentioning at Best Buy, because they are very easy to upgrade and swap out any parts in. They come pre-built, they look nice, they do have some RGB in them, and you don't need RGB for a computer to be good, of course. They don't make it run any faster, but it is always nice to have a PC that looks pretty. Now, the only one that I would actually recommend that you would end up getting would be maybe the $800 CyberPower PC at Best Buy that actually comes with a Ryzen 5 3600 and an RX 580, because that is going to be able to play games pretty well. It also comes with 8 gigs of RAM, and it also comes with both a 2TB hard drive and an SSD, which is pretty nice for, $800. But the only reason I will actually recommend this computer is because you can often find it on sale for around $600 to $650, and that is actually a pretty decent point for this PC. Again, I'm not saying this is completely worth your money. I'm just saying that if you are a parent looking for a good pre-built PC, this is probably one of the better options. Now what I want to do is I want to go look at their actual other pre-built PCs, the more high-end ones, and see how they stack up against Digital Storm, just because I do think some people, I don't know why, but still think that Digital Storm is a good option. If we just go over to their website, we can see that you can get computers that have a 2080 Super in them for $2,100, which is instantly so much better than Digital Storm's $3,000 PC that comes with a 1650 in it. Now, that same PC that I was just talking about, the one with the 2080 Super for $2,100, also comes with an i9 9900K and 16GB of RAM, plus a pretty neat case. Now, of course, it doesn't matter what your computer's in, as long as you have the fans in it right, it's going to run just fine. But if you are wanting a pre-built PC, this computer has good specs in it, and it's definitely much cheaper than those Digital Storm ones we looked at last week. And of course, no matter what, if you are building your PC yourself, you are going to be paying so much less than any other company if you're buying, a pre-built, or of course paying someone to build your PC can cost a bit of money sometimes. So if you just take the time to actually learn to build the PC yourself, you can go to these PCs and save a couple $100s by just learning how to do it yourself. But of course, if you do have a lot of money to spend on a PC and you don't care about paying someone to do it, then CyberPower does have some pretty good options for pre-built PCs, because they don't hold back. They're putting in good specs in there, as opposed to what we saw with Digital Storm. I will also quickly mention that if you are thinking of buying a pre-built PC from one of these companies, unless it was, of course, specifically the Best Buy PC that I talked about, always buy them directly through the manufacturer. So if you're looking at those CyberPower ones that aren't the Best Buy ones I mentioned, go to their website specifically. Don't go to Newegg, because a lot of the times you'll end up seeing them being sold from other companies, so they'll mark the price up even more. Make sure you just go to the official website of the company that's selling the PC, and that's where you're going to get the best price for them. And sometimes they'll even have pretty decent sales, so you'll possibly get $100 to $200 off the PC, and that's always nice to get. Next up, I want to take a look at Alienware because they're a pretty well-known company. I think a lot of people know Dell's Alienware brand, and they really aren't that good when it comes to these pre-built desktop gaming computers. If I just go in and I go to I want to look at their Aurora gaming desktop, let's do that. It's the same setup that they had for Digital Storm, where you can upgrade the parts that's in it, and if you just click on one, it comes with like everything at, the minimum specs, and you can choose what you want from there, which is of course always nice to have because you can choose to get a cheaper option, choose to only upgrade certain parts if you know you're gonna not need anything like, stronger than an i5, you can go with an i5 rather than an i7 or an i9, and you can save a bit of money there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the basic specs of this PC with a 1 terabyte hard drive, 8 gigabytes of DDR4, and an i5, and just see how much it would cost for me to make it on my own. Now, of course, I can't find their specific case because it's theirs. I can't buy it on its own, so I'm just going to put it out for like an NZXT 500 or something like that. You'll see whenever I'm done. So now I'm done on PC Part Picker, and the PC came out to $655, and again, some people were talking about how I didn't add any extra fans in that last video, and you don't need to. Cases come with fans, and if you're looking at a cooler fan, the CPU comes with a cooler that is going to be doing enough work to keep it cool. I'm not going to put Windows 10 up here because whenever it comes to a big company like that, they can strike huge deals with Windows 10, and if you go anywhere on the internet, you can find so many cheaper options to get Windows 10 for like $15. So if we were to tack it on, that would only put the PC up to $670 if we were to build it ourselves. Then, looking over back at the Alienware PC we were comparing it to, it's $760. So it's only $100 more to actually have it pre-built and sent out to you. One more thing that you can do to actually cut the price of the computer back a little more is you can actually go and get a different case, because again, you don't need to have the best looking case. I just thought the H510 is a decent looking case. You can go with any of the cheaper case options. They're usually going to be just fine. Just make sure you look at the reviews, make sure they don't come like broken in any way. So I decided to take in the Ranger M Micro ATX case because on Alienware's website it says that it comes with a Micro ATX Intel board. So I don't really know. I just decided why not go with one of the cheaper Micro ATX tower cases and just see how much it gets the price down to. And now it is at $621. Now, I was originally wrong when I was looking at the 9400 because what I was thinking of was the 9400F, and that CPU is slightly cheaper. But all in all, you should just stay away from Intel right now, especially in the current marketplace, because for the exact same price as an i5 9400, you can get the Ryzen 5 3600, which is an incredible processor for the price, and to get a Micro ATX motherboard for the Ryzen series, it's actually a little bit cheaper, which brings the price of this PC down to $591.90. So I'm pretty sure I have now gotten that as low as I can compared to the original Alienware PC that you saw. I've made it better than the one that they were selling, but the most important thing is that right now, the current PC that I had was $591. That gives us almost an extra $200 to spend anywhere else on the computer. So I could choose to get a better case, I can choose to get more RAM, but specifically, I can choose to either get a better CPU or a better GPU. But more specifically, in this current example, I can choose to put in a Ryzen 7 3700X, and the PC is still cheaper than that Alienware that comes with an i5 9400. So what is this point that I'm trying to make? Why am I talking about the $200 difference? Well, I had some people saying that they don't really care about paying the people to make the computer, when it is very important that you learn about how you're spending your money. Now, yes, you may think that you don't care in the long run, you just want a good gaming PC. These companies don't care about really making good gaming PCs, they just care about getting as much money from you as possible. The only company that I have seen actually put good stuff into their computers so far has been CyberPower, and even those are still, I think they're a bit overpriced, but they're the only ones that seem to actually care about gaming, because those computers are going to be able to play games pretty damn well. But everywhere else on the market, the computers are just overpriced, and if you're wanting a gaming computer, they're not going to be able to play games that well. I mean, right here, if you don't care about paying someone to build your computer, there are better options. This is an extra $200 you're paying someone essentially to build that computer, but the one that I made essentially was much better than the one they were selling. And then you have an extra $200 to put anywhere else. You can get a better graphics card that will actually be able to play games. You can get a good amount of RAM. You can get a better CPU. It's just crazy to me that these companies are charging so much for PCs that really aren't that good for gaming. Now, Of course, if you've bought one, they probably run games fine, but the thing is that whenever people want a gaming PC, they usually don't want computers that run at like the lowest possible settings. They want computers that can run them at decent settings, especially if they're dropping so much money on them, like $2,000 to $3,000. But not many companies actually make PCs that are actually going to be able to run games that well for those prices, other than, of course, like I found, CyberPower. So if you are looking into any pre-built PCs, I would say if you have a good price point, go with CyberPower. If you don't have a lot of money, don't look at pre-built PCs at all. Unless you specifically have someone in your neighborhood selling a pre-built for a very good price because it's like essentially on a big sale, go for that. But if you are looking at something brand new, do not buy any pre-built PCs. Make sure that you just build your own, because taking the time to learn how to do that will save you so much more money. And then if you want to, you can help out other people in your community by building PCs for them, and you can get money out of it. It'd be cool to start your own business doing that. That's kind of what I wish I could do. Finally, I do want to talk about actually building your own PC and where you can get some of the cheapest parts. Now, there are a lot of good places to get PC parts, and the most important place that I've found for buying PC parts is r/hardware swap on Reddit, because you go through PayPal whenever you're actually paying people for their parts. So essentially it sets it up sort of like it's an eBay purchase, where if they like try and scam you, they send you the wrong item, they send you a broken or damaged item, you get your money back and you go along your day. You can get a different part somewhere else, and you know, no harm's done. And you can usually get really good parts for really cheap on that subreddit. It's really nice. Then of course you can always go on eBay and try and win auctions, because a lot of the times there will be auctions that end late in the night or early in the morning, where people will just miss out on some really good deals, so just make sure you're looking out for those. And then, of course, finally, there's the Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Now, I like the Facebook Marketplace more, but Craigslist is always an option. If someone's selling a really good part for really cheap, then you can always take the chance and purchase that item, but sometimes they will be broken or people will be trying to scam you, so just make sure you're practicing safe etiquette when it comes to trading stuff like that. Like, just make sure you go to a Walmart, a place that's open like all the time and always has cameras. Try and do your trades in the daytime so there are more people around. Just be careful out there, because yeah, there are some great people, but there are some terrible people. Yeah, be careful. But that's going to be it for this video, and if you guys did enjoy, be sure to show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing to my Parliament and joining. And hopefully these videos that I have made, this one and the last one, has helped you sort of decide against buying a pre-built PC, because it is always just better to build your own PC. They're not much harder to actually learn how to do than Legos. And I hope this video actually did teach you how much these companies are trying to get out of you compared to what the PC itself is actually worth, because a lot of the times they just want money out of you. And I get it, you're a company, you need to make money, but you can sell people a PC that's actually worth it. And yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I hope to see you guys in my next one. Peace out and have a wonderful afternoon or day, whatever time it is.